You know, one of the things I try to practice a lot is my short game, chipping. Now I do that for a couple of reasons. One, I think it's extremely important. The object of this is to get it close enough that you can make your first putt. If I'm out there 150 yards, the object is to knock it anywhere on the green, and I'm happy with 2 putts. But as you get closer to the green, your expectations should go up and your target area should shrink. And I like to think of a 9-foot circle, 3 paces. Because if I'm inside of 9 feet, there's a great chance, I've got a reasonable chance of making my first putt. But as I get outside of 9 feet, 12 feet, 15 feet, then I'm likely to turn that 1 putt into 2 putts. That's the same as hitting my tee shot in the lake. It's a 1-stroke penalty. When you don't hit this inside your 9-foot circle, it's like hitting your drive in the lake. Think of it that way, and you'll see the importance of the short game. Now, the other reason that I practice the short game more, particularly this little short off of a tight lie, is that it's probably the weakest part of my game. So I practice it more. If I want to play more like the pros, I'm going to practice the part of my game that is least like the pros. And this is the part of my game that's least like the pros. So I really want to practice it. I'm trying different techniques, different ball positions. I'm trying to work on different shots. Maybe some will be the back foot, where I'm lining up that back foot and have a more of a steep angle leading edge type of strike. But then I'm also doing the modern chipping technique and working with that, where my shaft is more vertical and I'm trying to expose the bounce of the club so it almost skids through the ground. It doesn't get stuck on the leading edge. When I watch the pros on tour, I see what I call firm flexibility. They have some flexibility in their hands when they're hitting these chip shots. In their mind, they may not be trying to hinge, but there is some firm flexibility in the shaft movement. And the best way to get that is to make sure you're not gripping too tight. And I tend to sometimes grip too tight. And so one of the things I'm working on today is to have a connected swing where my arms, my triceps are sitting on my pectoral muscles, and I'm swinging my chest through the ball. I'm not swinging my hands through the ball. I'm really trying to focus on the form. The performance will follow. But I'm working on this feeling. It's a little new feeling. I don't own this yet. I need to practice and hit a lot of balls to be comfortable that I can do it without thinking about it so much. Now, I'd much rather convert that mechanic to a feel. I have to do the new mechanic, reflect on the feel, and continue that process. Think about the mechanic, reflect on the feel, think about the mechanic, reflect on the feel, and then over time I can stop thinking about the mechanic and just feel the mechanic. And that's what I want. But the ball's not going to respond to my feelings. It's going to respond to the mechanics, to the laws of physics and motion that exist at impact. So I'm working on, I have a little gap wedge, 52 degree, which happens to be the same loft as a pitching wedge was in 1960. So I'm going to work on lightening my grip pressure, and I notice that when I have light grip pressure, the club will create that little wiggle, that little firm wiggle, firm flexibility. But I don't have to consciously try to hinge it on my own. I don't have to do the hinge. It'll have a little bit of firm flexibility that gives the ball a little bit of a hit. I have found that my best chips have a little hit in them, a little hit, underscore little. I'm really focusing right now on swinging, having a connected swing. I'm swinging my chest through. I'm going to have my feet fairly close together. I'm choking down. I'm slightly open. I'm going to play the ball just slightly left of center. I don't want to have a lot of shaft lean. I do want to use the bounce and skid through it. I'm really trying to focus on holding this for a moment or two and try to always finish in the same place. kind of like the light grip pressure. You know, I can actually feel the end of the club a little bit better. I'm not just swinging a dead handle here or a dead club head. Kind of makes the club head a little bit more alive. I need to make sure that doesn't create a complexity in the timing. That's where the practice is. I do like the feeling of it.